Immigration. Immigration is a topic that's very close to my heart. As a child, I grew up in a home where both my parents were immigrants. And the constant fear in my mind was, will I see my parents today? This fear ran from the age of 6 up to my sophomore year in high school. I recently asked my parents about their immigration status back in the day. This question back in the day, it was something that we couldn't ask just because it was just left in the air and no one talked about that topic at home. But recently I asked my parents and they went over on how they came to the US. My dad came here first. He came here through what's called a coyote. It's someone that helps you cross over. So my dad did that whenever he was 15 years old. And then my mom, probably about two or 3 years later, she came over here. She crossed the river with my brother. My brother was 2. And she said that was the scariest thing in the world for her, knowing that she's leaving her family back home and she's traveling with a 2-year-old that could drown. She said that was the scariest thing in the world for her. But that was their experience. Now that they're here, they say that they love this country and this country is home to them. According to the PewResearch.org, there are about 10.5 million unauthorized immigrants here in the U.S. There are several reasons as to why they migrate. They come to this country seeking a better future for their family, for their loved ones back home. Some even leave their families. Some even leave their families back home to work jobs that pay close to nothing. Most of these earnings get sent back to the motherland, and then whenever, at the end of that, they have nothing left for themselves. Others migrate due to violence and they seek asylum. Those seeking asylum have been threatened by their gangs in their countries. They come to the U.S. thinking they'll escape the negativity, but actually they come to basically the same thing. They come to a country where they have to live in constant fear and where they have to live in the shadows. Some of those families that migrate with younger children, like my family did. Children that have no say-so, or some that don't even know what's going on due to their age. They just know that they're taking a long trip and they come to a new place. With my brother's case, my mom told him that they were going to go to Disney World to see Mickey Mouse, and I guess Disney World took a couple of days to get to. These children growing up here, in some cases, they have no idea about their legal status until it comes time to apply for a government-issued ID, or even when they attempt to apply for college. Some of these children were eligible for DACA, and I say they were because DACA, you can no longer apply for it. This is a deferred action for certain undocumented young children who comes to the U.S. as children. Unfortunately, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services is no longer accepting initial requests. DACA allows immigrants of certain age to attend school and the ability to contribute to the economy with a certain permit that is only valid for 2 years. So meaning every 2 years they have to renew it, and it's not a guarantee that it will for certain be issued. They also do run the risk of being deported once applying for DACA. Immigrants offer so much to our country. They play a major role to our economy. According to National Academies of Science, immigrant workers, authorized and unauthorized immigrant workers, boost the wages of native U.S. workers and do not have a significant effect on the overall employment levels of native-born workers. Most of these immigrants come to jobs that even Americans wouldn't take due to the lack of, due to the fact that they are overqualified. They get underpaid, work extensive hours, they get injured at work, and they still have to show up the following day. Most employers definitely take advantage of the fact that they know that immigrants don't have a voice. Imagine working under these conditions. Would you do it? Whenever my parents came to this country, my mom was working at a hotel and my dad was working, I believe he said at a restaurant. Both of those jobs got raided. My dad got sent back. He got deported back to Mexico. And my mother, well, she stayed here with my brother. My dad, I believe he said after a few months he came back. And then after that, he applied for, I think for residency. It was through Ronald Reagan that he was able to go ahead and get his residency. Unfortunately, due to his background, he can't get citizenship, but that's something that he's working towards on. Immigration is a topic that is very close to my heart. As a child of immigrants, I have lived with the constant fear of, will I come home to my parents today? And after 25 years of living in this country, my mother finally became a U.S. citizen back this summer. If I didn't change your mind today in regards of immigration, or as how you view immigrants, just keep in mind that we are as human as you are. And then this is the population of immigrants. Most immigrants are in this country legally, almost a quarter are unauthorized. And then this is the chart. This is my mom back in July, whenever she got her citizenship. Finally, after 25 years, she got it. And then these are just for her.